I'm now joined by former Melfort Mustang James Wasmuth. And James, you spent a couple of seasons toiling with the Mustangs. A BC native, how did you find your way to Melfort and becoming a part of the Mustangs?
Well, I believe I got a call from Mike Zambon a couple of years ago in the summer, and I had a couple different options, but pretty much a situation where I was 19 years old and I wanted to play junior hockey somewhere, and I just made the decision where I thought would be the best fit, and turned out it was Melfort.
How tough is it to make that adjustment as a young guy moving not just away from home, but 2 provinces away where you don't really know anybody?
Yeah, it was a really tough decision at first. I mean, you're moving, like you said, to 2 provinces away. I didn't know a lot about the Saskatchewan League. I didn't know a lot about Melfort. Growing up, you have your ideas of where you're going to play around home, and so Melfort, I always said, wasn't the first place I wanted to go play my junior hockey, but once I was there, it was where I wanted to finish it. So
now talk about, I guess, some of your teammates and the coaching staff you had here. You talked about Mike Zambon, Blaine Fennell when you started, Daryl Mann and Trevor Blevins for the rest of your Mustang career. Some of those friendships that you forged in your 2 seasons.
Yeah, those are 2 of the great seasons that I had there. When Mike Zambon first came, brought me in, he treated me really well. Blaine Fennell was a guy that at first I found him quite intimidating, but as I got to, he just seemed like an intimidating man at first. But I had a lot of respect for him when I was there, and even more respect for him after I continued on, and just being good friends with Matt Fennell, his son, I got to know him even better over the years. So yeah, and then as far as Trevor Blevins and Daryl Mann go, they are 2 of the greatest coaches I've had in hockey. They really. I was able to easily buy into their systems, and I did what they asked me to do, and it was an honor playing for those 2 guys.
Now, a lot of times somebody will come in, they'll just play hockey and focus on that, but you really seemed to fall in love with the city of Melfort and took part in a lot of community events. What was it about the city that enticed you?
Well, I think Melfort's it's a community-owned team, and I think it's important to, as a player, to acknowledge that the community puts so much into it, and to sort of feel a responsibility to that community is a good thing. And also, to be honest, I always had been instilled for me from my parents, and growing up in a Christian home, that whatever you do in life, that it's not just about your own personal goals, that you're also there for other people around you. So and I took that not just in the community. It doesn't matter necessarily about community, but just even the relationships and treating people with respect and getting along well with your teammates and people around you.
Now, we saw all sides of James Wasmuth when you were here on the ice, off the ice. You really got a chance to know you. The fans did ask a Mustang, lots of different things, and as well on the road with Wazzy. Tell us about that experience. I think that's one of my favorite memories from my time here as well.
Yeah, no, that was a lot of fun doing on the road with Wazzy. It was a great time. And I think it was good that people got to see sort of what goes on. And yeah, it was a lot of fun doing that whole segment. I know, quite a few crazy. I just remember it was a terrible road trip for the team. We lost both games, but yeah, I mean the doing the on the road with Wazzy was fun. Al's always easy to work with doing that stuff. He's so much fun. So yeah, it was a great experience, great memory.
Now, we talk about some of the community events you were in. One thing you started that's carried on after you've left is Wazzy seats. You buy season tickets and you gave them to hardworking young students around here. How much fun was that to be able to meet lots of these young students who came to watch you play?
No, yeah, that was a great experience, and it was fun, and especially because to see the idea was to encourage students to be active, and some of those young kids were just great, and I was really impressed with a few of them. There's a few of them that left a lasting impression on me, just because they never really gave into pressures. They were popular kids that never, always treated all their classmates with respect, and just working in the schools, I noticed. And yeah, I mean, it was a good way to reward students for just being active at a young age in the environment around them.
Now, you also got a unique opportunity here as well, getting a chance to play with your brother Andrew. What was that like to be able to line up and look down the bench and see your little brother?
It was fun. It got me into trouble a couple of times. It almost had me going over the bench, but I know he wasn't maybe the the best pickup for the Melfort Mustangs. I know he had his letdowns for that organization, but no, just joking. He was great to have as a teammate, and as a just to have playing with him to finish off my junior career. He was a great brother, great teammate, great friend. So it was a real treat.
Now, I know it's always tough. You probably have tons, but do you have a favorite memory of your time in Melfort?
A favorite? Oh man, there's a lot of great memories, and I think sometimes people say that your best memories and when you're done are away from the rink, but I think they're always around the rink for me. And probably that first year, that whole playoff experience there, even though we got knocked out by L'Orange, just having a team that seemed to was falling short all year long to come up and play the way we did in that first year in the playoffs, beating Nipawin, and then playing, I don't know how many, was it 6 overtime games against L'Orange or something like that. So that was just such an experience and such a fun hockey memory.
And finally, when you take a look at the current Mustang roster, is there any advice you'd give to the current edition of the hockey team?
Well, my first piece of advice for anyone trying to make the Mustangs is that in the end, it doesn't really matter what Daryl Mann or Trevor Blevins think of you. You have to impress Al Montgomery. He's the biggest key to making that hockey team. So you want to make him your best friend. My second piece of advice would be to anyone going there, try to arrange that your billet is Sadie Phillips, because she's the most wonderful, beautiful person that you can ever live with.